like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come into Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest events of the year in the city of Fresno. It's called the Big Bang Weekend. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk to Kevin Jordan. 436-MeTV, option 11. Do call in, but please do turn down the sound. Back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Goodness, it's hard to concentrate here on the set today on Connect with Me. Everybody's into this World Cup match right now down in Brazil, with the USA trailing Germany by the count of 1-0 in the second half. As you know, the United States has to either tie or win to move on and move out of Group G into the next round, of course, of the World Cup. And by the way, Portugal and Ghana are tied at 1, but the most important game, the one that's being viewed around the nation, around the world, everybody keeping an eye on the USA and, of course, Germany. Germany up 1-0 over the U.S. of A. I wanted to talk about the no-hitter yesterday at AT&T Park before we get into our show today. Let's roll the videotape. And Tim Lincecum, oh, the wild thing, doing his thing at AT&T Park, a sellout crowd, another sellout, of course. The no-hitter by Lincecum, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk against the San Diego Padres. He nixed his second no-hitter in less than 12 months. Last year, July 13th, he pitched a no-hitter against the Padres down in San Diego. He becomes the second player in Giants history to toss 2 no-hitters. He joined the likes of Christy Mathewson, of course, a longtime Giant. The Giants win it 4-0. Buster Posey, by the way, went a quiet 4 for 4 yesterday. Lincecum there, as you see, mobbed by his teammates. And by the way, after the game in the locker room, Lincecum and Hunter Pence could be seen wearing a USA soccer jersey and a helmet, of course, rooting the USA on in the World Cup. Both Hunter Pence and Tim Lincecum wearing the jerseys in the locker room after the game. And by the way, the U.S. Teammates down in Brazil took notice to what Tim Lincecum did yesterday as well. All right, back here at Fresno, getting ready for the biggest event of the year here in the city of Fresno. It's called the Big Bang Weekend. It takes place not too long from now, July the 11th, that's a Friday, and then, of course, July 12th, the next day on Saturday. I want to take you to the first photo, and this is a photo from last year, the football camp that took place at Bulldog Stadium, the free football clinic. Look at that. You had nearly 400 youngsters at this football camp. They learned from those who played the game professionally and at Fresno State. It's amazing. This takes place on Saturday, July the 12th is the football camp. It's headed up by Kevin Jordan. And on the day before, Friday the 11th, the Celebrity Bowling Challenge, that'll take place as well. This is a photo from last year. We'll explain that in a moment. You'll be able to bowl the night away alongside former NFL stars like Michael Pittman, Philip Thomas, Paul Williams, Billy Volek, and the list goes on and on and on. We'll talk about the players that'll be there. It's all happening at Sierra Lanes. Begins at 5:30. That's the registration. It goes until 8:30. $40 for adults, $30 for kids 12 and under. It'll be a big weekend. Friday, July 11th, and Saturday, July the 12th. Live in our studio right now is Kevin Jordan, the former Fresno State Bulldog, the former Green Bay Packer, who is now the executive director of KYJO, Keeping Youth Journeying Onward. We're going to talk to Kevin about this big weekend that's about to fall upon us here, July the 11th and 12th. And you can call in at 436-MeTV, option 11. Kevin Jordan is back in the house today. Glad to have him in. And also, Germany still up 1-0 on the USA. We'll keep you up to date on that match as well. Back in a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer. And now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
You know, I've talked about this many times on the show. I didn't grow up watching soccer. I didn't grow up playing soccer, but it's hard to concentrate and hard not to focus on the game today. Kevin Jordan, are you interested in this World Cup stuff?
Yes, I am.
Are you really? Rooting for the USA?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Hopefully they can pull it off.
See, I grew up watching football, baseball, basketball. Soccer wasn't my thing, but it's hard not to get excited when, I mean, it's like the Olympics, right?
Yes, the whole world is involved right now, so
Yeah,
it's very important that they represent our country, USA, so it's a must. They must win. They must. It's a have to.
This event coming up, your event
Yes.
coming up on July the 11th and 12th. Let's put the poster up so we can see the dates, and it's a great poster that you put out. It's called the Big Bang Weekend Celebrity Bowling Challenge, July the 11th, hosted by Robert Golden. Now, explain what that means.
Hosted by Robert Golden, Celebrity Bowling. It's part of Big Bang Weekend, building a new generation. We wanted to put something together that is basically showing that a new generation is upon us. And what that happened is Rob is one of the very few players that came and wanted to give back to the kids of the community, and it's not like pulling teeth to get him there, and he wants to do it just for the love of it, and so that's why he's the poster boy, and he's going to be the one that, hey, started building that new generation.
He's helping you out. Here's another photo from last year's event. Looks like you guys were having a great time. And talk about the bowling event, how many people get involved, and what it takes to put something like this together, Kevin, because you've devoted a lot of your time to this, and it probably takes months of preparation?
Yes, months and manpower, and sometimes that falls upon my shoulders and everything. Everybody doesn't see the behind the scenes of it all. They just see that when they get to the bowling alley that it's full and it's filled with a lot of fans and a lot of players, but it takes a lot to go into, like text messaging, emails, getting everything together, getting food for the event, getting t-shirts made. I mean, every little thing that
Posters,
the artwork for that design.
Yeah.
It takes about 3 or 4 hours to sit down with the artist just to get that done.
Now, the purpose of this event is what? Now, I know you want to give back to the community. You've done a lot so far. In fact, I suggested before the show you should run for mayor of Fresno. That's what I think, but who cares what I think?
Not yet. So the purpose, our vision at KYJO, creating opportunities for a better way of life. That's not just for our youth that we serve, but everybody in the community. You know, have you ever grew up knowing an NFL player before? Have you ever met one?
Not as a kid growing up. No, I never.
Exactly.
I met a baseball player, but not a football player.
Well,
So
any type of celebrity guest, you know,
Yeah.
and that's why we want to just create that opportunity so they see that, hey, you can be this player. You can meet these players growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't have that opportunity growing up in L.A., but so I wanted to give that opportunity to not only like KYJO kids and offer it to the community as well. So now they have a chance to meet these players up close and personal now.
I guess it really is a big deal when you're a kid and you do meet one of your athletes, because when I was in Little League, Kevin, I grew up in Sacramento, and I remember my childhood hero, Willie Mays, came to visit Sacramento. He came in his baseball uniform. I must have been 5, 6, 7 years old. And I looked up at Willie Mays, and he looked like the Jolly Green Giant. I mean, I was just a tiny kid. So it was such a thrill, and he was the only player I ever met as a kid growing up. And I shook hands with him, giant hands, of course. So it must really be a thrill for these kids to see their heroes.
Yes, that too, and as well, the players. The players, they want to give back, but sometimes they just don't know how. So then, you know, I combine that with the kids and community, and they inspire each other, which is great and awesome.
What do the players tell the children that growing up is not easy?
Growing up is not easy, and they were in their shoes, or sometimes worse, and that they can do it. if they have put their dreams to the test and just go ahead and put it to action, they can become the people that they idolize. And so that's one thing that Rob says, hey, believe and achieve. That's his motto. Believe and you will achieve it.
Talk about some of the players who will be there besides yourself. You're a former NFL player, former Bulldog, of course, and talk about some of the players that will attend this event. Not only the bowling event, but the football camp, of course, the next day, which is gigantic. What, you have 500 players?
Well, not 500 players. It'll be probably 500 kids.
500 kids that will be playing in the camp.
We'll
That's
have
what I meant. Yeah,
40 or more players or former Division I players to come out and just give back.
That's a lot of players.
And it's special because just think, like you said, you grew up watching all these football fields or baseball fields. Have you ever stepped foot on one? Now these kids can actually step foot on the field that they actually grew up watching and having seen these players play on, and wow, it's going to be amazing.
Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Kevin Jordan. What's your question?
It's pretty exciting. Competition between Germany and the USA. Pretty jazzed about it. Really nice coverage. Hey, my question is, Kevin been a guest on your show before talking about the group home. My question's relative to that. That group home. Hey, how's that thing going? Don't really hear about it. Doesn't get much coverage. I'm interested in hearing about it, and maybe at some point in the show, Kevin can talk about what's new in at the group homes.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody always wants to hear the negative about the group homes, and I bring the positive. So a lot of times you don't hear about the positive about, in the foster world. And one thing after this Big Bang weekend, which nobody is talking about, this will be our 5th annual group home Olympics that we're teaming up with Valley Teen Ranch, and having this will be over 50 kids for either on probation or CPS or in the foster system that get together and have a week-long Olympics just at Valley Teen Ranch, and it's only been covered one time by the media, and that's awesome news, right?
Yeah,
exactly. But nobody will ever hear about it.
Oh, it's amazing. So the group homes that you run, there's 6 of them?
Yes, 6.
6, and it's called Keeping Youth Journeying Onward, and it's called KYJO. You're the executive director, and I know you were on the show talking about this, and we want to talk about this Big Bang weekend, but talk about how you got involved with the group homes again, and what you do to serve the community and serve these children.
I got involved with the group home because I wanted to basically show them a better way of life. I know that growing up, they didn't have those positive role models growing up, and basically it's not their fault. They do what they do. Society thinks that they're supposed to go ahead and be good and act good. Well, how do they know if we don't show them? Give them the tools and give them the opportunities, like say, opportunities to create a better way of life, so they can choose to follow that way of society deems that they should. And that's what they do now, giving those opportunities about just showing them, like just going to the lake. That's something that they never did before.
Or going fishing.
Never did it.
Yeah.
Never did it.
Doing whatever.
Yes, things that we take for granted, they've never done. So give them those opportunities, and you'll be surprised how they change.
So what I'm getting from you is just spending time with them, and whether it's
time,
playing dominoes or playing marbles or going fishing.
And just being positive. So many kids said, well, I've never had anybody tell me what to do. It's always been a negative. They showed me how to rob a bank. They showed me how to steal, but they never showed me how to make sure I do my homework. Hey, make sure I go work out. Make sure that if my dream is to play football, I need to practice every day. Yeah. Because a lot of kids, when I ask them, what are your goals? Never been asked that before. So if you don't have any, so you don't have any goals, what are you living for in life? And they'll say, I don't know. Yeah. Exactly. Get your goals right.
Yeah. All right, talking to Kevin Jordan. He's the executive director of KYJO. That's Keeping Youth Journeying Onward. And we're talking about this Big Bang weekend, July the 11th and the 12th. It takes place at Sierra Bowling Lanes and at Bulldog Stadium the next day. And so believe and achieve. That's the motto here on Connect with Me today. 436-MeTV, option 11. Call in. Still 1-0 Germany over the USA.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Well, I hope you can stand the suspense there at home. We're on Connect with Me right now, Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6. This is a live program. It is Portugal 2, Ghana 1, but the USA still trailing 1-0. You're sweating it up over here, Kevin, over this USA game.
Yes, a little nervous for them right now. Hopefully they pull it off in the next few minutes.
You never know what's going to happen. And so,
I know.
This Big Bang weekend, whose idea and how did this thing get started to begin with?
Well, it started back in about in 2011. Me and my former business partner and also teammate at Green Bay, he did it alongside of Nebraska, doing it with the spring game. Well, we can't do that here because the spring game isn't as big as in Nebraska. So we wanted to encompass the football clinic. The Celebrity Bowling Plus Football Clinic, and back then it was called Big Dreams Weekend, Developing Relationships through Education and Mentoring. And so we wanted to just totally get our own identity, and Big Bang was started by one of our board members who created the name, so building a new generation, and that's what we are. We're building a new generation.
You had 400 kids there, football players, kids, I mean, last year. This year you're accepting almost 500. How do you handle so many, and how are you getting the word out right now?
How do we handle so many? By having several football players and coaches there. So we had about 70 last year, so we're expecting about the same amount this year, and just very organized. I mean, it was about 18 stations last year. Not because I'm putting it on, but it was one of the most organized camps I've ever dealt with.
What do you teach at the football camp? Every aspect of the game?
Fundamentals, nutrition,
tackling?
Not tackling.
Oh, okay.
But not tackling because there's no contact, but they do at the end do 7-on-7 with the older kids, and then the little kids we did last year, we did with Lance Briggs, they did an obstacle course toward the end, the latter part of the camp. But each station, you have a speed station, you have individual drills, strength, endurance, and also like one station, they sit down and just learn about nutrition, and a motivation station.
Yeah, nutrition is very important because it fuels your body, obviously.
Fuels your body. You need to know about nutrition. If you don't, you could become a disgusting fat body, like they say sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, but you also need your energy. And I imagine, you're a former pro athlete, and you know this better than I do because I never played the game, but your diet and nutrition has got to be much different as a pro athlete.
Yes, well, mine wasn't so great. I used to be 315 pounds, and I used to eat 5 courses at one sitting. Okay. And so I had to keep that mass on. And so I didn't learn how to diet until life after football. I was stuck at 270 for a while. And so once I learned how to diet, everybody knows how to lose weight, but the secret is learning how to keep it off. And so once I did that, I was able to get down to around 240.
So you teach that at the camp, right? You teach proper diet at the camp.
That one, since they're still trying to get bigger, they want to learn how to work out and bulk up. So it's a different type of nutrition, but to stay away from like the greasy foods and things like that, yes.
Right. Okay, people that may be watching this program right now, they have grandkids, maybe they have kids, they want them to get them in the camp or possibly the bowling event the night before. What do they have to do? How do they contact KYJO?
All you have to do is simply go to www.bigbangfresno.org. So that's www.bigbangfresno.org, and it'll take you anywhere you want to go.
Can they call? Is there a certain number?
Yes, and then you can also call our corporate office numbers at 559-243-7002. That's 559-243-7002.
Okay. The kids, what do they get out of it? What did you view last year? What did you sense last year about what the kids got out of it? And the second part of that question is, after the football camp was over, did you get a sense that maybe you wish the football thing was like a 2-day event?
Well, what they get out of it is that they're creating memories, something in the tutelage that they would never imagine possible if it wasn't for us. We had over 400 kids, like I said, about 400 kids get tutelage from pros like Lance Briggs, Rob Golden. Who would ever imagine they could ever think that? So dreams and memories were made, but at the same time, a 2-day camp would be Ooh, that would be tough. But yes, it could fall into that though. It's something that
Maybe in the coming years you could think about that.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
Now, what time's that football camp start?
The football camp starts from 9 to 1 on Saturday, July 12th. Registration will start at 8 though, if we're not at 500 already. So if anything, I would say register now because, like I said, we're already at around close to 350 kids registered.
Can handling that many kids, can you get everything done in one day? I mean, that's
yes. Oh, yes. It's very much possible.
Huh?
Yes. So, like I said, we break it up into age groups and 18 stations, and it flowed last year. It was great, and it's a fast-paced camp.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a high school football championship game, getting ready for it. Let's go. It's not a list. Oh, let's go. No, let's go. Action. Let's go.
No wait time.
No wait time. We gotta go.
We're talking with Kevin Jordan. He's the executive director of KYJO. That's Keeping Youth Journeying Onward. We're going to continue our conversation talking about the Big Bang Weekend. Hey, not the Big Bang Theory, although that could fall into that same category. It's the Big Bang Weekend, July the 11th and the 12th here in the city of Fresno. One of the biggest events. A lot of kids showing up. That's amazing. 436 MeTV option 11. Germany still up 1-0 over the USA.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Back here on Connect with Me on Comcast 187 and 43.6, and specifically, Kevin, I want to ask you about. We were just talking during the break about Isaiah Burse and Marcel Jensen. They worked as counselors.
Yes, for the summer.
KYJO.
Yes, for the summer. Marcel did in 2012, and last year, 2013, Isaiah Burse did. Mm-hmm. They worked as counselors, giving an opportunity to Fresno State so they can have career-minded jobs, so they can have created for life after football. Because like me, you know, I had my degree, but I had no work experience once I got hurt. So at first I was just blank. What am I going to do with my life? So I want to give these opportunities to the players at Fresno State. So then if they ever wanted to pursue football and got hurt, they'll have something to fall back on.
All right. So why did you not decide to go into, say, coaching? I mean, you know a lot about football. You could be a coach.
I actually, once my football career was over officially, I started that, but I still had the itch to play. But so I wanted to just stay away because I knew I couldn't. And so that's why I got into helping with the kids and just inspiring with adding the football component to that as well.
Let's mention some of the players that are going to be there at that football camp, and we don't want to downplay the bowling event because that takes place at 5:30 on that Friday, July the 11th.
Bowling event as well.
Okay, every player will be at the bowling event, and also they're going to be coaching at the camp the next day. Lorenzo Neal.
Yes, Lorenzo has been there for every event that we've thrown for the kids. He's a great supporter.
Okay, Lance Briggs.
Lance Briggs was there last year. This year, he said he has to go attend a teammate's. He's in the wedding at one of his players, the Chicago Bears. So, unfortunately, he will not be here. But he did give a signed jersey to us to give away.
And Isaiah Green of the Steelers, right?
Yes, and he's also a former Bulldog.
Okay, and he'll be there definitely.
Yes.
Billy Volek.
Yes. I had the pleasure of playing with Billy Volek before.
All right, Michael Pittman is going to be there, Philip Thomas, Garrett McIntyre, and of course Burse and Jensen and Tyler Klutz will be there as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of players and many other players that, you know, I don't know if we have time to mention all these, but just a lot of them right now that are going to be there at the bowling event and also at the football camp. And so you started this in 2011. Is it getting? Do you sense that it's getting bigger and bigger each year?
Yes, it is. It is pretty soon. I believe it. I was just talking to somebody today. Like, hopefully, this will develop into a national level. Big Bang Weekend here in Fresno. So, you know, I think big. So let's see how far we can go with it. The more people involved and just see and just wonder, wow, they thought the camp which was a cost. Like, no, it's free.
Yeah.
And so once they see, they're like, wow. And once they go out and check it out, you know, we had the likes of Daryl LaMonica coming out there to see how it was last year, and he's loved it.
Is he coming out again this year?
I don't know.
You're not sure.
We're not sure yet, but if he does,
sure, maybe.
Hey, Daryl, come on out again.
Come on out, Daryl, if you're watching. So what's the score in the game, by the way? What is it? It's 1-0 Germany. Is it over?
It's over. We lost.
It's over. The USA lost, so they do not move on to the next round, but that's okay. Hey, they did quite well. You got to be proud of them. That's a 1-0 game is not like 10-0, okay, or 5-0. So I want to talk a little bit about your counseling, because I did sit in on one of your counseling sessions at one point, and you deal with a lot of troubled kids.
Yes,
and
I do.
I do not know how you do that. Did you have prior experience in doing this, or did it just, does it come naturally for you?
It basically comes naturally, because I was one of those kids before, but in a sense I had to be a little smarter, because I did have my father there, which was the equation that a lot of these kids are missing. Their father was not in their picture to keep them in line. So basically I did the same thing these kids did, except I had my father to put me in my place when I did those things. These kids didn't have that growing up. So therefore, when they come in our care, I'm that father figure. And that's why I get in their rear end sometimes, and they appreciate it, because they want to do the right thing.
What do you do when you see a kid falling back into the cracks?
Have one-on-one talk and really just see what the root of the problem is. Because a lot of times they don't just tell the truth. So knowing what my prior experiences were and everything, I kind of surmised, okay, this is what your real problem is, and they agree.
Do you sense when a child or one of these kids might be lying to you?
Oh, yes, all the time. That's why
Okay.
all the time. So that's why they tend not to lie to me and want to talk to another staff when they know it's time to tell the truth, because they can't do it. And manipulation does not work with me a lot of the times.
Yeah, you're tough on them, huh?
Yeah,
It's tough.
tough
It's
love.
tough.
Tough
it's
love.
tough love.
Tough love.
Tell us where and how you grew up. You grew up with a father that kept you in line. So talk about that a little.
So my father, like I said, he grew up and kept me in line, but at the same time, though, he was always working overtime and working for the California Youth Authority. I grew up in the tough area of Inglewood, and then my grandmother lived in Nickerson Garden Project, so I was always back and forth. So that life is all I knew, bad, tough neighborhoods. I didn't know anything else. And so until when I was 15 or 16, my father moved us out of that area into the Harbor City area of LA. And that's when I didn't want to change, just like the kids don't want to change. But then once we saw the change, it was like, oh, this is what he was trying to do with the family, just show us a better way of life. And I take that, what I've learned growing up, to KYJO, and that's why it works.
Yeah. Well, see, you have a rare combination of both street smart and you're also well educated.
Yes.
And so you have that rare combination that a lot of people don't have. Some people don't have. And so I imagine that helps you out with
That helps out
kids.
a lot. And then they understand and see that, and I tell them all the time, okay, you see me dressed in my slacks and all this right now, but that wasn't all the time. Just even, when I first started college, I used to wear jeans and T-shirt just like them every day. But then I had to tell them I had to change. So understand, change is good.
There's an image that you have to portray being the executive director, so you can't dress in a T-shirt and shorts every day.
Correct. And not even knowing that when we first starting out, just so that's why the kids were easily to relate with me when I first started KYJO in 07. But as we started to grow, we had to change the image. So I tell them that as well. Even with our staff, it has to change.
No, I'm serious now. We had a minute left, and I do want to promote this thing, but I do want to ask you, would you ever consider running for office, mayor? I mean, I could see you as the mayor of Fresno. You've got a great personality. You get along with people. Maybe you can straighten these people out at City Hall. I don't know.
Maybe in a couple years or so.
You're thinking about it, huh? Has anybody else approached you about it?
No.
Not really.
Not really. Not yet.
One?
First one.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
One day maybe.
Well, I don't know. So the Big Bang Weekend takes place on July the 11th and the 12th, and again it's at Sierra Lanes, right?
Correct.
Okay, and there's the big poster up there right there, hosted by Robert Golden, and 5:30 for the bowling event it starts, and the football camp the next day at Bulldog Stadium starts at what time? I'm sorry.
8 o'clock will be early registration.
Right. Do you have any equipment that you want the kids to bring?
The kids need to bring football cleats and shorts, and we're giving out T-shirts for all the kids.
Okay, no helmets required.
No helmets required.
Because it's not a tackling thing.
Not a tackling thing.
All right.
All fundamentals.
Kevin Jordan, gosh, it's always good to see you.
Thank
always
you
good
once
to be
again,
here.
John. Thank you for having us again.
Hey, thank you, Kevin.
All
right. Kevin Jordan, the Executive Director of KYJO, keeping youth journeying onward. That's going to do it for us today. By the way, the USA lost 1-0 to Germany, or 1-0 as they say overseas. We're back again tomorrow with another show. Hope you can join us. Have a great day.
You ready, Bo?
Let's go.
Dr. Shields activated, Mr. Sullivan.
Automatic, sir.
And we're pushing to the limit.
Situation critical.
Base of action.
Can't break loose.
Peace or utter destruction. It's up to you.
Star Trek, Saturdays at 9, 8 Central on MeTV. Brought to you by Ventura TV.